Good afternoon, Mr. Tosin. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
everyone.
Good afternoon. You're welcome. Where are you
Yeah,
actually?
I went for
Where
an
are you?
art exhibition, so they are doing
Sorry?
face. But I said I went for an art exhibition. I'm still there though. I'm still there. I just
All
escaped.
right. So exhibiting the arts. Okay. What's this on your face though? Is this supposed to be an
It's
alien or, or
it's just
something
a
from
design, just a
it's
design.
okay. I have to read meanings to almost everything, so I'm not sure what to call you. Looking at your head. Anyway, you're welcome. Thank you everyone for joining. We do have a few people online, so we'll just start. Like I said, people will get the opportunity to watch it online. So you're welcome once again. My name is Tosin Balogun and I'm the host. Ms. Toby Kabi is here. She's going to be talking to us about um, mental health, how to be kind to people, and what kindness can do to really help people with their mental health. I'm assuming that she will be relating this to people generally, and she also related to families and friends of people with disabilities. I mean, she would have the floor eventually, but I'm just going to also ask a few questions just to guide us. Um, but before we start, Toby, I'm just going to talk about a trending news, right? The trending news right now has to be, or maybe we still have to be the standoff between ASU and the federal government. So I'm not sure if you are aware, but the federal government actually took ASU to court, right? And the industrial courts did actually mandate them to call off the strike, okay, for them to
Yeah,
return to classes. But of course, the union as well have now gone to the appeal court to say that the appeal court should ask the court to actually try and delay their judgment because they still want to engage in some form of dialogue and all of that. So I mean, it seems like this is just going to keep pushing and pushing on and all that through, I don't know, maybe even next year. What do you think about the strike?
it's
Or do you
just
think
I
this
don't.
might be affecting people's mental health?
It is. It is obviously affecting a lot of youth. If parents, you can imagine something that's already, as an that out to school just to come back. You are waiting. You are what is in your own capacity to do stuff on your own. Don't depend on this because I think they are ready to for anything for anybody though.
Right.
I feel
Okay.
selfish to an extent.
All right. I think that there's something up with your network. So we're just going to hope that going forward is going to be more stable. Um,
Oh,
I would just like to start with this question for you, Toby. What do you consider mental health to you? What is mental health to you, and why are you passionate about it?
okay, one thing is mental disorder that a lot of people confuse with mental health. Mental health is actually the way how you can engage yourself and how you can influence your space positively. If anything is wrong with our mental health, then there's an issue. Your society, your family, even you yourself might not be so good to do any activities. You can't really extend your activities. So why am I so passionate about it? Our mental health is everything. is majorly one part that nobody can joke with. And then a lot of youth these days, we, we, we are influenced by social media. Social media to me is toxic. Toxic, yes, to me. I'm not saying to anybody, because we are learning from social media. We've learned enough from books, not learned enough from people that are ahead of us. Social media is one thing that everybody there with. So we are,
Can you hear me, Toby? Can you hear me, Toby?
yes, I can.
Okay, is it possible for you to change location just a little bit? Because the network is really, really not clear.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, are we? Okay.
Okay, I think it's a bit stable. I mean, we'll have to watch. Um, so if I get you correctly, you're actually saying that mental health is the positive thing, and the mental
Yeah.
disorder is when there's a problem. If I actually got that, because it wasn't so clear. Okay. And then you were talking about social media being toxic. What do you
Yes.
mean?
Social media, it's a good platform for people to show the world kindness. Like I'm a preacher of kindness. But social media now is like, oh, this person is doing it, I need to do it. Social media is making people tread on some parts, and a lot of things are coming in from there. It is not everybody that can select. It is not all of us that have that self-discipline to select, okay, this is what I will do, even when the social media is saying do this way, go this way. But majority don't know how to be, how can I say that, they don't know how to be, to be determined that this is what I want. There was a point in my life that I was like that. Oh, this person is doing this thing. For example, this person has been going to Dubai. This person has moved ahead. We were in the same, we were all those things. Pursuing another person's race, you are racing after nothing. You are not yourself. And one thing about mental health is, when you know who you are, you go for who you are. You walk on your own path. You tread on your own lane. You are not after anybody's stuff. So news and what we hear influences our space. What we see influences our space.
Right.
Everything that comes to us from our environment influences our space. Now, the environment is not what people are going to now. It is now social media. So on social media, 70% it's no.
Can be
It's not
fake.
pushing good things. Yeah.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, because I wanted to stress the fact from what you're trying to get, that social media can be a positive tool for development. But of course,
Yeah.
if you also don't have self-discipline and self-determination, you can just then, it can be a negative influence on your mental health.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So like you said, you consider yourself to be a preacher of kindness.
Yes.
But what do you really call being kind? What's kindness really? If I see a child that is hungry and I give them sweet, am I being kind? If somebody tells me that they need some money and I give them money, am I being kind? If somebody is about to steal something and they tell me not to tell the world that it's stolen, am I being kind? I mean, what really is kindness?
Okay. One thing I know growing up, it's I want to help people. My father used to believe that you will study medicine, you can do nursing if you don't want to study medicine. You can do maybe, yeah, a lot of things like that. But I know I can't do all those things because that is not who I am. All I want to do then was to help people. So helping people, to me, it is not giving. Basically, it is not giving. it is bringing people together.
Okay.
How can you bring? By showing them love. Yes, you are loved. Even when you are like this, you are loved. Even when you talk this way, you are loved. Even when you don't look like me, you are loved. So that is kindness to me. I don't like segregation. That is why I would say in my own word, I don't like proud people. Because I feel if you are proud, you tend to form your own clique, and you feel like this is my clique. I can't. No. So
Right.
yeah, kindness is bringing everybody, either white or black or whatever, bringing them together. No tribe, whatever. No, no. That is it to me. To me.
Yeah.
So you will always see my space with a lot of people. It's either you are rich, poor, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, that's it.
So I guess the next question would be, how do I know that someone is going through issues and I'm supposed to be kind to them to help with their mental health? For instance, I mean, off the scene, we were discussing people with disabilities, or maybe their parents or their families trying to go through things. And then you were saying that sometimes people say things that just can be nasty sometimes and they're not being kind. So do you want to cite some specific examples of ways we can be kind to people generally, or things that you have seen in your own sphere that can make you say, okay, this person is not being kind, and what are the things you can do better or differently?
Okay, you said how can you know? First question was how can you know somebody needs your help at that time? You see, one thing about humans mask a lot, smiling when we are really sad. So, but then if somebody in you, I'm not saying I'm one spiritual being, but then if there is this connection between you and a person, the person will find comfort in you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can.
Yeah. So you have to develop a connection between you and some persons. A psychologist or a behavioral therapist cannot start therapy if there is no rapport between she or he with his client. So anytime the person can come to you if there is no rapport. And going straight to the point, there are so many things that we do as individuals that is not so cool. I would say it is bad. And I will talk about 6 points on how to be kind to people, and especially people living with disabilities. So number one is I will cite an example.
Okay.
Or let me just go straight to the point. Number one is we know, or we are all seeing that this person is on a wheelchair. We know, but when you look, you'll see. But then some people will now look to the extent that the person on the wheelchair will be saying, oh, am I that bad? Is this truly who I am? Why are they looking at me like that? So you can, I'm not saying it is normal for you to look, even when anybody passes, you can look, but then look and take away your eye, take away your, yeah.
You can look, but don't.
Yes, don't stare at the person to the extent that the person is feeling so bad. And it is not even people living with disability alone. Normal person will feel, oh no, this is
people.
Yes. So look and take away. And the number two stuff is
Toby, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm still getting a few about your network. You can see, right? So I mean, even though I've been trying to follow through, but there really is an issue with your network. It's okay. I mean, we know it's not your fault. because you're not in control of the network. I just wanted to give you that feedback.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Please just go ahead with the second point.
Okay, the second point is try to make eye contact with the person you are talking to. Yeah, I'm still on person on wheelchair. You know, it's not all of them. You can always ask, do you mind me kneeling beside you? The person is obviously lower than you are, but you can't just stand and the person is down. You're talking to the person. No, it's not so cool. So you can always ask the person, do you mind me leaning, or do you want me to bend to what? But some might find it annoying, offending, that so I can hear you even when you're far from me, or but you can ask the person for the person's opinion. But for me, I'll say try to make eye contact with the person you are talking to. Yeah. And the number 3 point is, I understand that it is not everybody that knows about any behavioral condition, also whatever, like autism, like DHD. But then if you see children at the mall or a shop crying, throwing tantrums, stop saying, this mother, you did not take care of this child very well. I'm sure African they take care of this child very well. What is going on? No.
Right.
Ask, what do you think the child needs? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you think this child needs this thing? Don't talk back at the mom. The mom is going through a lot already. A lot is going through her head, and she's confused. Don't confuse her confusion. So ask for their, do you mind me helping? Yeah. And
I think I
another
will
point.
buy that. Sorry, Toby. I mean, I was going to say that sometimes you get to a mall, like you said, and then you can find a child throwing a tantrum, and you see people already judging and saying that the mother is not caring for the child well. Sometimes it even happens to us as therapists. You've taken a child out, you're trying to get the child through the function of the behavior, and then people are already saying, this is not nice, you don't know how to take care of children and all that. I mean, for me, it is, if you can ask for the way you can help, just keep quiet and walk away. But like for me, that's just it. You don't have to say anything, just walk away.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway.
Right.
Okay.
And then my fourth point is, don't victimize or stigmatize people living with disability. Like saying that she was a stroke victim, or that autistic child, or that child is always misbehaving. No, those words tend to dwell more on what has happened to them, which is not their fault. So you tend to like make them see the bad parts of themselves, or the diagnosis of themselves, that I can't really do anything. This is what people call me. So you can always say, somebody living with disability, somebody living with so, or a special needs, whatever. So don't stigmatize, don't victimize anybody with your words or your gestures. Your gestures sometimes, like Nigerians will do like this. They want to point to the person, the person might be saying don't point, they will not. No, I don't think that's good enough. And then number 5.
Sorry, please, just a question.
Okay.
Just a question. Some people might argue, for instance, that if you say someone is autistic, that is correct English. There's nothing wrong with the English. I mean, to say someone is autistic is correct English. To say Down syndrome child or something like that is that's correct English as well. So why do we have a problem with it? But I remember trying to discuss with someone before, and the person's point of view was, this is your name. Nobody has the right to determine what you should be called. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I mean, my name is Tosin. I'm the one that chooses that you should call me Tosin. If by tomorrow I say that I want to have a change of name or anything, I mean, it's of course I have to go through all the legal processes and everything that might be involved. but you still have to consent to what I want to be called, as long as I'm not being fraudulent about it. So the
Okay.
point is, if people with special needs or people with disabilities or their families for that matter say that they do not appreciate that you call them this, then I
Yeah.
mean, the only kind thing to do really is to listen and try to address them the way they want to be addressed, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Some
Right.
people will say, wait, look at, she's blind. Yeah. So I've seen a woman, I went for voters card, whatever. And the woman said, I'm a blind woman because they locked everybody outside the gate. And the woman is
That,
saying, I'm a blind woman. And everybody was like, Mama, please don't talk that way. She said, am I not blind? I am blind. Just blind. Can just go ahead. But for some, I think it will indicate their strength and their abilities, and it will just make them feel
right,
low of themselves. Yeah. So
right.
for the next point is ask if the person needs help. You don't just barge into their space. For example, do you want me to help you to the elevator? Do you want this?
Right.
Can I help you with anything? Don't just feel like this person is disabled. So things like that. Ask for help if they really need assistance before you provide the assistance. Yeah. And
Hmm.
one mistake we do as a therapist and whatsoever, we don't communicate with our clients, with our children that we are working with. We feel okay, Tito, you engage with your client. Oh, Tito, do you want me to do this? Okay, let me do it first. You model. You don't just give, even when the child is used to the activities, do it with the child. Make the child involved in whatever you are doing. So,
Hmm.
and then we talk to the carer. Maybe for adults now, we don't talk to the client directly. Talk to them first before you talk to the carer. For
Absolutely.
yeah, even when the child is non-verbal yet,
Very
don't
true.
accept that he can't hear me, he can't understand me. Talk to them first. Okay, next week we will need you to do this, that, and then relay your message to the carer. They can
Absolutely.
hear you, they can understand you, everybody can. So don't just, yeah. And
Okay. Go
don't
on.
underestimate the abilities of a person living with disability.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
don't ever underestimate that this child can't do this. Oh, this person is too young for this. Please, let's just move to this. Don't underestimate the person's ability. Don't make that mistake. Don't ever make that mistake. There was a time that I was working with a child. Sorry, please. I was working with a child, and this child is non-verbal. He was very, very, very hyperactive. So I gave this child puzzles. Like puzzles. Wow, wow, let me grade these activities. I gave him fixed pieces. He did it. I gave him like pieces of puzzles. He did it. But in my own child, is can't do this thing. I don't think let's bring it down. No, challenge your client. Challenge your your child. If you're a parent living with a child with disability, challenge them. Don't underestimate their power. Don't underestimate their abilities. They have beyond, even more than we, the regular person, have. They have a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing this, Toby. We're supposed to end by 5:30, so we have to keep to time.
Yeah.
But what I would like you to do is to go over those 6 points again. Do you
Okay.
understand? Let's try and read through the headings again. What are the
Okay.
6 things that you think we should do if we want to be kind to people with needs?
And number one is look, but don't stare. Like you keep staring at a person with disability, you keep staring at them. No, don't do that. Just look and
Yeah.
move your eye. And two, if you see a parent in the mall struggling with his or her child, if you can't help, just walk away. Walk away. Don't talk back at give this child what this child wants now. Are you not a parent? You are not doing so well with that. No. And the third
Okay.
point is if sorry, there are polite ways to ask for people's help. If you see a person on a wheelchair or the person, do you mind me doing this for you? Don't assume that they can't do it. Can I
Yes.
help
Okay.
you with and so like that?
Okay.
And don't stigmatize them. Don't stigmatize, don't victimize them. This child, blind person. No, 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 no. That might hurt their feelings and they
Okay.
will dwell on more on that. And then speak to the client, speak to the person before you speak to the carer. Speak to the person before you speak to the carer. Yeah. And the last one, don't underestimate the abilities of a
Yeah.
person living with disability. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for this, Toby. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you everyone that's listened. And thank you to as many people as who watched this video afterwards. This is just the first on the series on mental health. By the next
Yeah.
episode, I'm also going to be inviting a clinical psychologist who is going to be talking about some specific aspects of mental health as well. That's really going to be interesting. So for us to wrap this up, I do have here 3 riddles for people to solve. So if you do know the answers to the riddles, you can send them to me in the comment section when this is over. And then, of course, you get a gift of a recharge card. So the first riddle is this true or false? You never catch a cold going up in an elevator. You never catch a cold going up in an elevator. Is it true or false? That's the first riddle. The second riddle is, which country gets ill all the time? Which country gets ill all the time? And the last one is related to our topic today. What game can be dangerous to your mental health? What game can be dangerous to your mental health? So I'm also going to type out these riddles rather on the comment section when this is over. If you know the answers, you can send the answers, and then of course you'll get the token of the gift. I'm not sure if anybody has any questions whatsoever. I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. And if you don't have anything from anyone, then we'll be calling it a wrap. So Toby, is there any final thing you want to share before we go? Just in like a minute.
Just be kind. Be kind in your own way. Don't go outside your way doing things for people. Even when they are not giving you back the favor you've rendered to them. Don't expect the same person you render help to be the same person that will help you. Then you've not done so much. Just be kind. Love everyone around you. You'll be fine.
All right. Thank you very much, Toby Lobakabi. Thank you to people who are online here. I can see Therapy Sola. I also saw Mr. Bimbo here. Jerry, I see you. Christy T. Christiana, I see you. So a few other persons whom I can't see anymore here. Thank you all for being a part of this. Try and look forward to the next episode. Like I said, I'll be inviting a clinical psychologist and we'll be talking again on mental health. Thank you for being a part of this. And from me and from Toby, I guess, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.